What if I told you that the worst thing that could happen to you might be the key to becoming the leader you were meant to be? Let's talk about what happens when your worst case scenario becomes your starting point. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Reinvention Lab, where ambitious women transform loss into legacy. Hosted by Master Certified Life Coach and fellow trailblazer Sandy Linda. This is your space to discover how life's biggest challenges can ignite profound transformation, where grief becomes growth, setbacks become stepping stones, and your unique story lights the way for others. If you're ready to turn life's challenges into opportunities for leadership, legacy, and forward momentum, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Hello, creative humans and fellow trailblazers. Despite this wild summer heat that we have been having here on the East Coast, I am feeling incredibly grateful for something simple. The gym right here in the building. They offer yoga classes and enough treadmills to save me from melting on usual nature walks, as well as other weighted equipment that lets me do strength training. Honestly, moving my body even a little bit helps me shake off the stress and old hurt. Every time I step on the treadmill or hold a yoga pose, I feel like I am letting go of all the times I was rejected or lost something important. It helps me to think clearly and make better choices, not just in business, but in life. So my question to you is, do you make time for exercise, even just a stretch or walk? Because my secret for staying mentally strong, especially when life gets tough, is letting myself move in small ways. Sweating out the old stuff makes room for simple thinking. After everything I have been through, I need that clarity more than ever. Today's episode gets real as I share how losing everything, my family, career, friendships, taught me that when you have nothing left to lose, you finally have everything to gain as a leader. When life strips away everything you thought defined you, I thought I was done. I believe being a leader was for people who had not been knocked down by life. When I lost my family members, when my career crumbled as an event planner because I couldn't fake that social butterfly smile anymore, and when friends disappeared without a trace. But here's what I discovered in those dark moments. When the worst case scenario has already happened and you're still breathing, you realize you have a superhuman potential. You know that no matter what comes next, you'll figure it out. That's the start of real leadership. Not from a place of having everything, but knowing you can handle anything. Whether you are a creative entrepreneur, afraid to pitch that big idea because you are terrified of rejection, or a corporate leader holding back from making that bold decision because you're scared of damaging your reputation, this episode is for you. I want you to understand something. Your fear of failure is actually holding you back from your biggest leadership breakthrough. Today, I will discuss how my grief taught me to fear less and transform to lead more boldly. You will hear about my journey from people pleaser to fearless author and podcaster that taught me sometimes I had to lose everything to find my true leadership voice. I will share the exact mindset shifts that took me from being a follower to someone who leads with grace and compassion, even after a devastating loss. By the end of this episode, you will see how your biggest setbacks can unlock your greatest leadership potential. You will leave with simple tools to help you start leading with a nothing to lose mindset right now. Let me take you back 10 years ago. I was the ultimate people pleaser. I said yes to everyone, never showed my real feelings, and always tried to be what people expected. I was a social event planner who loved bringing people together until my world got turned upside down. First, I lost my family members who meant everything to me. Then grief made work impossible. I just couldn't be the smiling planner everyone remembered. Friends disappeared when I couldn't hide the pain anymore. I went from being everywhere to wanting to go nowhere. I struggled to leave my house at times. My crossroads moment was I had two choices: let the grief overwhelm me, or somehow pick myself up and start fresh. The second choice terrified me, but it had this tiny spark of hope, a silent promise to myself that I was going to build a new me from the pieces of my past. Here's what I discovered in those dark moments. When the worst case scenario has already happened and you're still breathing, you realize you have a superpower. You know that no matter what comes next, you'll figure it out. One step at a time, one day at a time. Before my losses, I was paralyzed by what if thinking. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? After losing everything, the question changed to, what if I try? What if I succeed? What if this is exactly what I am meant to do? This shift set me free. I started writing, not because I thought I was a writer, but because I had nothing to lose by trying. People told me I wasn't a writer. And I was like, so what? I already survived losing my family, a job loss, and friendships. A few critics would not break me. Remember our previous episode of the leadership frameworks where I shared principles? Well, I'm going to share them here as examples of my resilience, the connection, and the possibility principle. And I will leave the episode number on the show notes. The ultimate test of your resilience is losing everything. Plans change, doors slam shut, and you're forced to adapt. But you don't have to lose who you are inside. So in this resilience principle example, when I couldn't be the social event planner anymore, I didn't let go of my value of helping people connect. I just found a new way. Instead of planning parties, I started writing about healing. Instead of organizing events, I began podcasting to create a different gathering, to educate and share stories. I found a way to bounce back on this principle. The next example is the connection principle, where I use empathy as a leadership strategy. Grief changed my understanding of empathy. When you've been in a pit of despair, you can meet people there without getting stuck yourself. When I work with clients, I don't just listen to be polite. I listen because I know what it feels like when someone sees your pain. That deep listening has become my greatest leadership tool. It's not about fixing people. It's about believing in their strength to heal themselves. And then the possibility principle, where we discuss about innovation through devastation. Here's the thing about rock bottom. It's a start of something new. Once you have survived the unthinkable, you stop being afraid of failing. You will try things that seem impossible. That's when big ideas happen. Writing my first book was pure possibility thinking. I had no publishing experience, no platform, no guaranteed anyone would read it. But I also had no fear of it failing because I already lost everything that mattered to me. But trying felt brave. And that bravery led to new opportunities I had never imagined. For all of our creative entrepreneurs listening, stop asking, what if doesn't work? And start asking, what if this is exactly what the world needs? Your biggest risk isn't failure. It's never trying at all. And for our corporate leaders listening, are you avoiding that bold decision? The one that could transform your team but feels too risky. Remember that your reputation can recover from a failed action, but it might never recover from playing it safe as opportunities pass you by. Now, here is a 3-step nothing to lose process I want to share with you as your action steps. Number 1, name your worst case scenario. What are you really afraid of? Number 2, test the reality. Would you survive it if that happened? And number 3, take action from strength. Once you realize you'll be okay, the fear loses its power. Okay, I want you to pause right here and think about something. What bold leadership move have you been afraid to make? Picture yourself already surviving the worst case scenario. You're still here. You're still you. What would you do if you had nothing to lose? That's the superpower waiting inside of you. Now, most of us are scared of falling in front of others. But after loss, you realize most people are busy with their own worries. Starting over is brave. And sometimes it inspires yourself and others who are watching or listening. All right, now, we talked about how losing everything can actually make you the strongest leader. You learned my nothing to lose mindset and got real life, simple steps you can use today. Remember, being brave is about what you do next, not what you have lost. This week, I challenge you to take one small leadership risk from that nothing to lose mindset. Maybe it's having that difficult conversation, pitching that innovative idea, or finally applying for a promotion. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with another leader who needs to hear this message. Your losses haven't made you weak. They made you unstoppable. Now go lead like you have nothing to lose, because the truth is you don't. Thanks for listening. And remember, your leadership journey matters. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And I will catch you on our next podcast. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining us on the Reinvention Lab. If today's episode inspired you, don't forget to follow and share it with someone who's ready to turn their challenges into opportunities. Want to take your journey to the next level? Visit sandylinda.com/program and apply for coaching today. Together, we'll turn your story into a legacy. Until next time, keep moving forward with purpose, passion, and power.